There is only one objective message. Now let me give you an analogy if it's not self-evident. Japanese strike Pearl Harbor. We declare war. Japan, the Japanese are then given a large spread of land in Pearl Harbor to build a temple celebrating, I don't care what, the Japanese superiority or Shinto peacefulness, I don't care what. Now, if you can even conceive of that as justified because of, quote, property rights, unquote, then I say you haven't a clue what property rights or individualism or objectivism is saying. Because what permitting that amounts to is roll over, kick me, kill me, I have nothing to say. If someone down the street lobbied grenades into your home that you were renting, and the police wouldn't do a thing, and you fled, and he buys the property and builds the Church of Home bombing on your land, would you say, well, I mean, it's his property? And don't think that's a false analogy. Now, some of you are going to ask, well, but this is unfair to the Muslims who are innocent. You're talking about how we should deal with the terrorists. And I say that's irrelevant. Even if there were innocent Muslims involved in this mosque, the alternative we have is their right to property versus our right to survive as the only property defender left in the West. And there can be no question about what the proper choice is here. I don't, by the way, believe that the great majority of Muslims are innocent. I think they are passive because it's very rare to hear any anti-terrorist voice. There are some, but very rare to hear there's nothing to suggest a, quote, schism within the Islamic movement. So I don't even consider that. Plus, I add what I've said in past shows. Here we have to go by probability, which is not collective judgment. I've talked in past shows already about why it is legitimate for New York taxi drivers, black and white, to hesitate or refuse to accept fares going to Harlem. So you can check that out. Now, I can't resist taking a second with regard to this issue of the Ground Zero Mosque. I'm going to read you two quotes without comment from the New York Post of when? June 19 this year. Quote, the imam behind plans to build a controversial Ground Zero Mosque yesterday refused to describe Hamas as a terrorist organization. Quote, the issue of terrorism is a very complex question, unquote, he told our interview. I have no more to say about what about the innocent Muslims. Now, if you ask me in conclusion, well, what then should properly be done? Obviously war, but I mean in regard to this issue, I would say any way possible permission should be refused, and if they go ahead and build it, the government should bomb it out of existence, evacuating it first, with no compensation to any of the property owners involved in this monstrosity. A nice little example would be Howard Rourke is relevant here. I want to just conclude by saying that I'm doing these podcasts for nothing but the enjoyment of talking to young people about important issues. I am not here to have a heart attack. So please don't send any more questions like this. I will not answer them. Thank you.
Dr. Peikoff has asked me to state, in case anyone misinterpreted, that the blowing up of a building mentioned near the end is an action, which, like all foreign policy issues, can properly be taken only by a government. He in no way suggests or condones private action in this issue.